Welcome to the On Your Side podcast. I'm Gary Harper.
And I'm Susan Campbell.
You know, you had a very disturbing story today that I don't like.
I did?
Yes.
What was it?
The stolen banana.
I don't know what happened to it. I had a banana that I brought to work yesterday.
Specifically for breakfast.
I put it on my desk yesterday, and I was like, I'm going to save this for tomorrow for breakfast so I don't even have to think about it.
Right.
And this morning I get into work, and it's missing.
What?
Where does it go?
Well, then somebody's sticky fingers is where it went.
Maybe they were really hungry. It's okay.
No.
Or somebody is just really grossed out by bananas, and they're like, I cannot believe she would leave a banana on her desk, and they just tossed it.
Okay. Was it like way overripe?
No, it was fresh. It was fresh.
It was fresh. Good to go.
I like green bananas. It was pretty darn close to green.
And someone just snagged it.
It's not on my desk anymore. I looked around. I looked in drawers. I was like, I don't want to be missing this for days and days and then have it turn and, a whole thing. Now I'm the most hated person in the newsroom.
No, you're
I have
not.
no idea.
That is weird. And it's weird because when bananas, like when they get too ripe, they attract gnats.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what happens there, but
here's the deal. I'm sincerely hopeful somebody actually took it and enjoyed it.
Yes.
So I don't have a gnat problem somewhere when it turns up.
I am sure they took it, and it's it's been eaten.
We're Arizona's family, right? Everybody's family. We cover it.
You should have called me today. I would have brought you in a little,
That's okay.
little snack or something.
I'll go out right after we record this and grab a bite.
All right. It's been a long time, I think, since you and I have actually looked for jobs, right? I mean,
yeah. I've been here 5.5 years.
Yeah.
How long have you been at AZ Family?
Oh, I have been here for 28 years.
That's a good time.
That is longer than you are here. You're not even 28.
Gary.
Trying to make you feel good.
He knows how to make a person feel good.
Yeah, 28 years.
Let's pretend like I'm not even 28.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why not?
Sure.
And the reason I bring that up is because, a lot of people are looking for jobs. Look, this is already June. A lot of college graduates out there.
We're in July already.
It's July. I know.
It's July now.
You're right. It is July.
It flipped.
Yeah.
The calendar's over.
This is my anniversary, by the way, my wedding anniversary.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this is a good time we're having this conversation so you can remember all the things you need to do.
Yeah, thank you. The list never seems to get any shorter. 31 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. 31 long years.
Great years, if Cindy's listening.
Anyway, yes, a lot of scams out there with college graduates and stuff. That's what we're talking about today. We want to keep people from getting scammed. I'm not even out there anywhere like looking for a job, and I get text messages all the time saying, hey, we came across your resume. I don't know if it's on my LinkedIn page.
Yeah,
or what.
They have picked up recently.
They have.
They've really picked up. And I actually was speaking to a woman who had kind of the same thing happen to her, but it was an incredibly believable one and a job posting that she was interested in through a legitimate site. So a legitimate site is even getting infiltrated by these scam posts, which is just so incredibly frustrating because people want to work. They want to go out. They want to earn a good living. And
and some people are desperate too. Like they lose their job or their position is eliminated, and they've got to keep that revenue coming in. When you get an unsolicited text saying, "Hey, we watched or we reviewed your resume. It looks great. We're going to pay you." I think the one that I keep getting is like 2 hours of work a day, 2 hours a day, and I get like $700 or $800 a week.
Sign me up.
Sign me up. Yeah, that sounds like great.
Sounds great.
Great return, but scam. Hey, today we're talking to Olivia Crawford. She just founded not long ago a company called Bettabite. How are you today, Olivia?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So are you getting these text messages or emails saying, hey, Olivia, we saw your resume. We would like to hire you?
Literally every day, like multiple times a day, I get these text messages. It's mostly text. I don't look at my personal email as much as I once did. But yeah, text messages, they're coming through a lot.
How are
pretty
they
regularly.
How are they finding our information? Are they just like, combing through the internet, looking at profiles, or is AI in charge of that? What's the deal with that?
There are certain databases available that people have access to. I know that sometimes with data breaches that our information can be available to those kinds of scammers as well. And I'm not smart enough to know exactly like who these people are and like how they're able to like leak that data and get access to it. But unfortunately, that's just the world that we live in, where they're able to access our information. Like when you hear things about like Credit Karma, whenever there was like a data leak through them, or other like medical, maybe not medical, but there were other platforms that had data breaches and stuff like that.
A lot of these text messages, the one you referenced, do 2 hours of work, make a boatload of money. That kind of gives you a lot of pause. You go, that sounds too good to be true. I think a lot of us know in our hearts and our brains, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. But there are some of these that come through that sound a little more realistic. They have kind of the right logo for the company you might want to work for if it's in an email. And one of the things that people are gravitating toward right now is the flexibility with work from home. So that's what I've noticed in all the ones that I get is it's the opportunity to work from home, be a part, flexible schedule. And that does sound so enticing, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
they have all these buzzwords that make me go, ooh, that could make life really good.
Yeah, or maybe just a little side hustle, you know? So you got to be careful. So you came up with something called Bettabite. Exactly what is that?
So what we are is a job platform and a hiring tool that is taking the resume and the job post and evolving it into a skill focused chart, because oftentimes things get filled with buzzwords and like all these buzz phrases. And like you said, sometimes they can sound really too good to be true, or they find a really like interesting way to connect with you. But what we're trying to do here is simplify the entire process, so that way you're not having to interpret that and like figure out exactly what does that mean, or that's too vague, things like that. And how we are trying to approach the application process is by chart comparison, to just make it more simple, make it more efficient and more accurate.
So is it more for the person seeking the job, or is it more for the company looking to hire?
It's both. It's both for anybody who's looking to hire, and it's for anybody who's looking for a job that's tired of rewriting their resume over and over again and having to do the redundant process of filling out an application where they upload their resume, and then it's like, well, you gave us your resume, but fill out this information again.
So what are people leaving out? Are they building up their resume too much or not enough? You talked about buzzwords. Are people misusing the buzzwords?
It can get misused, and sometimes it's just like it's like a marketing tactic that employers are doing. What on the job seeker side, especially, what's happening there is that they've figured out how to game the system with it. And what I mean by that is, okay, so you're tailoring your resume and your application to what that job description says. And how else are they doing that is by having AI write it. And then these employers are getting resumes that all look the same. And then they can't exactly find out who's authentic and who's the right pick.
So what does Bettabite do? Does it write it for you where you can't be caught?
It doesn't write it for you. What Bettabite does here is that we make it so that candidates have to create their resume first, and then they put in what their work history was, their impacts, and then they write down all of like the different skills that they have. They select where that skill was used, and then they rank their level of expertise on a scale of like 0 to 100. And based on where they use that skill, that also kind of weighs their score a little bit more, because somebody could be putting 100% for everything. That's not always the case. And what we're doing is that we're adding weight to it so that employers can see, oh, okay, I can see how they grew this skill over time.
Fascinating.
Yeah. You mentioned at one point that companies are even being targeted by scammers. How does that work, and why would they do that?
That's a really good question, and it's come up a lot recently that there are people who are job seekers that are basically like automating AI to apply to these jobs for them, but then they're also like sometimes able to slip through the cracks, get through that interview process, but then they're just automating their tasks with AI and then like not really showing up for the job. So it's kind of just like an opportunity that people are seeking there.
That is incredible to me that there are ways to slip through the cracks, that technology has gotten so good and powerful that you could actually kind of get through.
But I mean, then let's just say you're hired based on an embellished type resume.
The bot is hired. They like the bot.
The bot is hired.
The AI bot.
Yeah, but I mean, you're going to get found out sooner or later when you can't do your job or everybody else is picking up the slack. You know,
when your avatar doesn't look so real.
Yeah, exactly. Why did you get involved with this?
To be honest, I started seeing a lot of stuff. Anytime I would fire up LinkedIn, I would see a lot of people just volunteering their experience with job searching or hiring. And I was seeing it so much that I was kind of sitting there, and I'm a user experience designer, and my job is kind of to find problems before people know their problems. And this was one of those things that I felt like it was just calling to me. And I thought, wow, this is an opportunity that I like doesn't seem like it's being solved. And once I started looking at like all the different platforms out there that are maybe not so much of a competitor to LinkedIn, but they're a job portal, or they're trying to like evolve the process in some way with how technology is evolving. And I thought, all right, I'm going to talk to these people, and I want them to just air out their grievances completely about what is going well, what is going wrong. And after interviewing hundreds of people, it ended up coming down to the same thing. People who are hiring are just overwhelmed with having to read resumes. People who are job searching are overwhelmed with having to rewrite their resume over and over again. And it's exhausting. And I wanted to see, okay, that's that's what I need to solve for.
So what is your best advice? Let's talk about the recent college grads, because they, maybe they took the summer off, or, they're in the middle of just relaxing, decompressing. What do they need to do to have the best job search as they are actually getting out into the real world?
To be completely honest, if I was a college graduate today, yes, take a minute to rest, regroup, get your sea legs back. But whatever it was that you specialized in when what you were studying in college, in a time where social media really places so much, like we place so much emphasis on what we learn through social media, I would say take what your craft is and then figure out ways to generate content around that to showcase what you can do. This is what makes you different and stand apart from the average job seeker. Because yes, it's like we live in a time where you have to tell them what you can do, but we're also in a time where it's getting to that point where you need to show them what you can do. And what's a better way to do that than with social media?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know how many jobs are going to be replaced in the next 10 years by, AI or, some mechanical thing that people don't have to do anymore. I mean, you and I don't know. Are we going to be here 10 years from now? Or are we just going to have...
I mean, I hope we are. I have retirement plans that require me working for longer than right now. But yeah, I mean, we've seen all of the examples of, AI reporters, and my goodness, it is such a slippery slope.
Yeah.
The guardrails you want in place are... I want the biggest guardrails possible. How about that?
We have a segment during our newscast, and it's a guy who gives a little bit of news, and he's on for about maybe a minute and a half. He talks so fast, and I always thought, is this guy AI? Is this guy AI? And just the other day, I was asking somebody, is that AI?
He's real.
He is real. But anyway, I mean, who knows down the road? Yeah. All right. Hey, Olivia, if people want to find out more about you or Bettabite, where do they go?
They can check us out on LinkedIn. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Bettabite_Bettabite. Actually, that's our handle.
Okay.
And Bettabite.com to learn more.
All right. Hey, listen, thanks for being on the On Your Side podcast. We appreciate it and have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Have a good one.
The On Your Side podcast is produced by Brad Denny. Our audio engineer and editor is Todd Martin. Segment producer is Colin Stanton. And I'm Gary Harper.
And I'm Susan Campbell. If you have a problem you can't resolve, maybe we can't, send us a message through azfamily.com or our AZ Family mobile app. Look for the On Your Side section and leave us a message. Thanks so much for listening to the On Your Side podcast. And if you like it, leave us a review. We'll see you next week.
On Your Side is on Good Morning Arizona every weekday morning at 6:45 and 7 o'clock, and every weekday evening on Good Evening Arizona at 4 and 5 o'clock. You can also catch it on Arizona's Family News at 9 on 3TV every weeknight.